Good morning or good afternoon. My name is Joni Girardi. I'm DataSelf's founder and CEO. I've been helping mid-sized companies make more informed decisions for about 20 years. And I'm super excited to be here, part of the acuCONNECT 2022 event. I'm one of the board members. In my session is about why your company needs Power BI or Tableau today. And if you don't know what Tableau and Power BI are, they are top-ranked business intelligence solutions. So what about this? Next slide. We'll talk about here about reporting and data analysis. And acuMedica has an amazing built-in reporting functionality. You know, if you explore the options, it's great. I mean, I've been working for 20 years in this industry. I have worked with over a dozen different ERP systems like acuMedica. And I can tell you, acuMedica has an awesome and ever-evolving ERP reporting platform. So feel good, you have something that is one of the best reporting available out there. So if the acuMedica reporting is so great, why the heck your company needs Power BI or Tableau today? And again, they are top-ranked BI solutions. So let's talk about that. At the end of the day, if you look at the world today, things are changing every time. And decision makers need to have access to their information from acuMedica and from any of the data silos all the time. Questions change every day. Different reporting needs come every day, and it's becoming harder and harder to make timely and informed decisions. How can we help with this process? Well, so why the acuMedica reporting being so great, it's still not providing some companies with, timely informed decisions. Let's talk a little bit about the technology behind the scenes, why there are some challenges on the reporting side in acuMedica. acuMedica is an ERP system, and there are many ERP systems out there. And the main focus of an ERP system is to help your organization take care of your processes, help you issue your invoices, help issuing your payables, your receivables, your inventory, your project accounting. The ERP is really focused on process-oriented. It's helping your staff do their job in having the computer system to capture that information. It's also highly optimized to get the data in. So when you issue an invoice, when you issue a GL transaction, it's processed instantly. So very focused in getting the data into the ERP. And because you're doing processes, because you're getting data in, you need to be able to see reporting as well. So there's a lot of reporting out of it. In every single ERP system, acuMedica, in all of the competitors, they have the same focus, process-oriented, data in. You have to have those two things really, really well and do reporting on top of. So reporting is like, no, you have to, but the main focus is process-oriented and data in getting data in. Now, when you talk about reporting out of your system, many times when you're using any ERP like acuMedica, things are not as easy, not as fast. And because it's not the focus of the ERP to be excellent in reporting only. They have to do process-oriented, they have to get the data in and do reporting. There's three things that are sometimes competing in doing the job better. Business intelligence, on the other hand, is a technology with the only focus of decision-making oriented, is to help decision makers get any data from any place in an easy format, anytime, anywhere. So it's a different technology. Primarily, we take, BI takes the data out of ERP systems, any system that you have, your payroll, Google Analytics, Excel spreadsheets, anything, put in a separate container and then do reporting. And by focusing on reporting and data analysis only, business intelligence really can help decision makers make more timely informed decisions anytime and anywhere. So technology behind the scenes plays a big role why, even though acuMedica is great at reporting, many times decision makers can make timely informed decisions because you're competing with the other folks of the technology. Peeling the onion a little bit, let's talk about data analysis with any ERP, including acuMedica. The first thing is, if you have reports ready in acuMedica, it's easy. You go there as a decision maker, you run them, you can make some changes, it's easy. The problem is decision makers are asking different questions every day, all the time. And if that requires an ad hoc request, like a new report or a new analysis, typically the decision maker will not have the time to learn the built-in reporting tool in acuMedica, and will have to ask someone else to make a new report. And when you ask someone else to make a new report, you'll have to wait, sometimes minutes, hours, and even days or weeks. So in any ERP, ad hoc analysis is typically requires more technical training, and most business users will not do that. They're too busy, and you have to ask a request to someone else. If your company has complex reporting needs, guess what? People are going to be spending a lot of effort getting the data in acuMedica, sometimes exported to Excel, to deal with complex reporting needs. So it becomes labor intensive. And third, some reports can take quite a while to run. You have too much data, or if you have to do a lot of data prep. If you need the data now, forget it. It's going to take some time until we can get all those data pieces together in a way that can make more informed decisions. So these are common problems with all ERP systems, because at the end of the day, their focus is not reporting only. Its focus is process-oriented, is get the data in and some reporting, and these are some of the limitations. When you go with a BI solution instead, the BI solution splits the reporting problem in two. There is a back end, a server side that is more technical, yes. So you still need the techies people to do the BI back end, but it's usually a one-time setup. Once you connect the dots, once you bring your data to decision makers, now it's amazing that decision makers will be able to slice and dice their data, make a lot of reports and dashboards without asking for assistance. And we'll show in a few minutes how empowering a BI solution is comparing to a traditional ERP reporting. Second, if you have complex reporting needs that using the ERP system will become labor intensive, guess what? A lot of the labor intensive reporting tasks out there are mechanical. People have to export the data to Excel, they have to manipulate it, they have to clean it, they have to control it, they have to securely, and many times is a human or many people involved in getting those tasks done. With BI, business intelligence, there's a lot of reporting tools in the tool set that usually 100% of the reporting preparation can be automated by the computer. We can program the BI solution to automate those processes, so the company will spend more time analyzing the data in a lot less time preparing the data and getting the data to the right people. So it's amazing how much automation you can do with BI on the reporting side. Finally, management, especially the younger generation of management, are very impatient. If they need to run a report, and if it takes longer than 10 seconds to get the result, guess what? Many of them will not wait. They'll press the button, and if the circle continues to turn for 10, 15, 20, 30, 1 minute, they're going to make a decision based on what they know and whatever. Or they'll have to postpone the decision. As a rule in DataSelf, when we're working with BI solutions, is all reports, no matter how much data you have, no matter how much data consolidation you have, multi-company, multi-tenants, doesn't matter, reports must run under 10 seconds. And that's usually something that with BI you can do, while if you're using ERP built-in functionality, many times you can't. So those are the three main benefits of BI that focus on just getting reports to the right hands at the right time. At the end of the day, if you provide this kind of power to users, you're going to increase the amount of timely informed decisions with better decisions, you're cutting costs, and you're making more money. Now, what about Tableau and Power BI? Well, if you decide to invest in business intelligence, I highly recommend using Tableau or Power BI as the user interface. These two tools, for about 7 years in a row, have been considered the top analytics offers in the Fortune 2000 world. If you look at, Gartner Magic Quadrant, for 7 years in a row, they are in the top tier, the best, the most user-friendly, and the most scalable solution. So I highly encourage you to use one of these two. Which one of them, if you don't know the answer to which one of them you should choose, absolutely talk with us. We have experience with both, and we can tell when one is better than the other, but they're both top-notch user interfaces. Now, I'm going to show in the next 5 minutes how they work and how they provide the value that I mentioned of being easy and fast. So let me switch gears now to one example. So right now I'm going to just focus on ad hoc analysis. I am inside of acuMedica, and you can completely embed these things, this Power BI and Tableau inside of acuMedica. The user doesn't need to know what's running the report dashboard. It's just powerful business intelligence. I'm going to show 3 examples of ad hoc analysis. And by the way, let me give more room to my screen here. The first one is called natural language query. Natural language query is like using Google. You just plain English, you ask your question, and the tool will answer that question instantly and accurately with a report. For instance, right now I am in the sales analysis side of the natural language. I'm going to ask sales by salesperson in 2022. I simply ask a question like I would do in Google. If you noticed, as I was writing my question, the tool used natural language, artificial intelligence to understand what the human wrote. And as long as I articulate the question correctly, and the data is there in your BI solution, in Tableau or Power BI, it doesn't matter. You ask the question, you press enter, and the tool will instantly, accurately show you, in this case, by salesperson, you're seeing sales in a descending order in 2022. So if you have middle school, English, must be English today, it's like Google. Ask the question, get the answer. And if you want to break down by month, you press by month, press enter, and the tool again gives an instant answer. So right now, for every salesperson, I have a line with a different color showing sales by month in 2022. Very easy. Maybe I don't like this graphical representation. Maybe I want to see something different. Maybe I want to see a table. Accountants, they usually like numbers by the penny. Sure, you can tell the tool, show me as a text table, and now it becomes a text table that you can slice and dice it further or export to Excel if you want to. One more simple example in natural language. I want to see my top 10 customers by sales in Q1 2022. A lot more elaborate question. You press enter, and there it is. The tool will show in that quarter, customer sales where the top 10 are in as blue and the others are in gray. If you want to see text table, again, pick text table, and it just shows the top 10 customers by sales in that quarter. So natural language, just like in Google, super powerful, super easy to use. And just like Google, it will not answer all the questions. More elaborate questions, you have to use other features of the BI solution. And that's what I'm going to show you in the next example. What things the natural language cannot do or cannot do well, but BI can serve in a very easy format. So I'm going to the easiest. If you know English, you're ready to use natural language. If some questions are not answered, you can go to what's called Slicer. I'm going to be showing here using Tableau. Power BI has the same functionality. So what I'm showing right now is the same thing, Tableau and Power BI, for everything I'm showing you. In a slicer, primarily you get a framework. In this case, I'm looking at my customers, I'm looking sales, and I'm seeing for 2022 for those 3 periods. And it takes literally 2 minutes to learn how to use a slicer. Let's say I want to only see month 2 and 3, press apply. So now the sales is by customer in those 2 months. But no, I want to see a different sales report. I want to see sales by salesperson, by item, by customer. How can I change this report? Easy. I go to my first drop down, which is customer right now. I'm going to select salesperson. This list can be customized. Right now it's just pre-configured for those parameters. But when I select salesperson, now the report became a salesperson report in that time period. If I want to break it down by item, I click expand. Now I go into the next column, and by default, it's already showing item. So there it is, by salesperson, by item, sales in those 2 months. And I want to go further and break it down by customer. So now I go to the next column. It's none, and I'm going to select customer. There it is, by salesperson, by item, sales by customer. And maybe I also want to see quantity sold. And pretty much what I just did is the training that it takes to use the slicer. Most users that see this demo, they can walk out of the session ready to build lots of reports and dashboards using a slicer. Again, same functionality in Tableau and Power BI that is very similar. The last example that I'm going to show from an ad hoc standpoint, and by the way, these 2 examples that I just showed you, they're very self-contained, can be done on a web browser. You don't need to have a desktop. There are several features that actually require the Tableau or Power BI desktop, which is a more of a publishing tool. They're kind of fairly straightforward. I have many business owners, salespeople that actually use this functionality to slice and dice the reports even further. So primarily what you have here is you see your measures and your dimensions, and you just decide how you want to build a new report. Let's say I want to build using a matrix. I want to see my salespeople. So I choose my salespeople. There it is, my salespeople, and I want to see my sales. Click sales. So that's sales by salesperson. And also let's put, fiscal year. I want to see also by fiscal year. You just pick the field that you want, and the tool automatically builds that report for you quickly, instantly. All right, that's one part of my report. Now I also want to see sales by customer as a chart. So I'm going to select a chart. Here is a new widget, and I want to see sales, and I want to see my customers. So just pick customer. Just pick and choose what you want, and it kind of builds in front of your eyes very quickly, very easily. The last piece in this dashboard, I also want to see sales by item using a column chart. So I chose the column chart, and now I want to see again, not sales, I see quantity sold this time, and I want to see items. Item ID, for instance. There it is. So in a few clicks, without knowing complicated tables and what, you just pick the fields, it kind of builds in the front of your eyes, and it's very interactive. If I choose a salesperson, it will show me on each report which customers and which items the salesperson has been selling. And if I choose a year, it happens the same way. Very interactive, very dynamic. Again, we have many users, business users with very little training that they become very self-sufficient because BI, the front end, the user interface is amazingly empowering for business users, and it's fast. No matter how much data you have, what I'm showing you here from a speed standpoint, it runs things in seconds. All right, back to my PowerPoint. So this is just an overview of the user empowerment in the speed that Tableau and Power BI can deliver questions to can deliver answers to ad hoc questions, natural language query, slicer, and drag and drop. Now, what are the challenges, right? With anything in technology, there's benefits and there are challenges. One of the biggest challenges of the BI, kind of Power BI in Tableau, is that it has a server side. In the server side component, it's not simple. Wait, Johnny, you just told me everything is simple. Now you're telling me it's not simple. What the heck? Right. Remember I mentioned that with BI, we're splitting the reporting problems in two pieces. There's a server side that is maintained by more techy people. So yes, there's still a technical component that tech needs to be involved. But the good news is it's a one-time setup. It's usually a one-time change. Let's say once you deploy properly your Tableau Power BI to acuMedica, and that is technical. But once you do it, now comes the second piece, which is the user interface, not the server side, the user interface, where the users are dramatically more empowered. So yes, there are challenges. The back end is more technical. You need to know the data plumbing, you need to set up security, but it's a one-time setup. And for many businesses, if you don't have expertise in-house, this can be a big challenge. Yes, it can. Not only that, but if or once you plug the BI to the solution and you start with a blank screen, guess what? You have to start to build one report at a time. So it can also be challenging. So unfortunately, like everything in life, there's good and there's bad. But keep in mind, if you manage to get your BI connected to your acuMedica and other data silos, in going through the initial hump of the technical side, your decision makers will thank you because they'll be able to do more timely from decisions. They'll be more independent, and they can take care of a lot of reporting needs without bugging, again, the more technical people. So splitting the problem between a server BI solution in the front end is usually amazingly empowering for decision makers. All right. What about DataSelf? Can we help? You know, as I mentioned, I've been doing this for 20 years. And for 20 years, we've been looking at these high-end business intelligence solutions like Tableau and Power BI, and how can we make it fast? How can we make it affordable? And how we can deliver value to companies without going through the complexity of the server side. And that's what DataSelf is about. You know, we have what we call a BI accelerator. Our goal is to get you where your BI journey is. Maybe you're doing nothing today. Well, let's help you crawl. Let's help you walk, run, and eventually fly. So our goal is to accelerate your BI journey from zero all the way to flying as soon as possible with the least amount of effort and investment. How do we do it? So first of all, we work with several different accounting systems, and we can pull data from any data source. Can be payroll, can be Google Analytics, can be Excel sheets, Google Sheets. No matter what the data is, we can help you get the BI accelerated. Typically, our clients come with some limited visibility, and we solve the reporting problems with a BI solution, only focus on reporting and analysis with a 3-step process. Step 1, we call the power. Remember when I mentioned that some reports can be complex to tackle? So if you do have complexity in reports, the power step will take care of it. It can be either data volume, and it can be data prep, cleaning the data, aggregating the data, linking the data, data consolidation, multi-company, multi-tenant, different databases. No matter what, we use a SQL Server power step or SQL Server reporting database or data warehouse to do the automation of complex reporting data preparation. We also use our proprietary ETL technology. It's called ETL Plus. And this solution makes the power step a no-code, low-code, full code, meaning you can do a lot of things without writing a single line of code. Yes, you can do a lot. But if you know SQL, then you can use the low code or full code to fully customize the power. IT people who are business analysts, when they get their hands on the power, they can go crazy because things they've been struggling with any reporting system, in DataSelf, they can actually automate using the power step. Once the power step is in place, bringing your data from acuMedica and other data silos, then comes what the decision makers love, the ease of use. And we support Tableau, Power BI, and Excel. You know, accountants, they love their data in Excel. Absolutely. You can also use Excel as part of the DataSelf user interface. we support the three of them. And I already talked about this, so ease of use, I think you already got the point. The third value is what I mentioned. If you start your BI journey from scratch, everything it can be time consuming because the server side is time consuming. Security can be time consuming. And building one report at a time can be time consuming. DataSelf comes pre-configured for acuMedica and other systems with thousands of reports ready to go. We cover AP, AR, GL, inventory, purchasing, sales order, project accounting, field service. There's a lot of things that can go live on day one with little effort. So it's some people say, so why 8,000? It's just too many reports. Good question. The reality is people only need one, maybe two reports at a time. The good news is when they have this need for one specific report, when they're doing during a call, if they can't use natural language, if they can't do using the slicer, isn't it better to have thousands of reports ready to be searched and hopefully find exactly the report that you want? If you have only a few dozen, a few hundred, the odds of finding that report that you need at the right time is smaller. So having a large library of reports and dashboards has been great for many of our clients because they can search for those answers anytime and anywhere. So let me show you very quickly some examples of the DataSelf reports and dashboards out of the box. We have thousands. I'm just going to show some of them and how interactive they are. This is one of the most popular, the year over year. I'm looking from a sales standpoint. You can pick the year. You can pick the periods. So right now is on year to date in 2022. I see the total this year, a total last year to date, and the variance in dollar and percentage. Big numbers. I can see here like a visual drill down showing by period, the dark blue this year, light blue last year. Visual drill down again into the ship to, seeing bigger bubbles, bigger sales. Black is growing since last year to date. Red is declining. And then I see customers and items, again, last year, this year, and the variance for both perspectives. One thing that BI is also very powerful is the ability to slice and dice your data at the high level, looking at charts and whatnot. And then when needed, you can drill down to more detail. For instance, what's happening with this customer that has a large decline in sales since last year to date? I click on it, and the tool changes all the widgets to show only sales for this customer. Totals, trend analysis, ship to, and the products. What about these products? These three products are declining a lot. What if I want to see the details? I can select them and choose show to details. And now I'm ready to see something like a GI. So with BI, you can go from the high level, you can drill across, drill down, and eventually, when you want to see more details, you can go to a GI level view. Absolutely, you do. In acuMedica and other reporting tools, if you try to drill down, usually you go straight to the GI, even if you're not ready yet to look at the GI level. So this is one example of built-in reporting DataSelf. Let me just show a couple more because we're almost out of time. Cash flow projection, super popular with many accounting systems. The ability to see how much money you have today on hand and what's coming in and going out in the next days, weeks, and putting everything on a projector line. Budgeting, forecasting, financials, inventory planning. As I mentioned, there are thousands of reports in DataSelf that we cover out of the box, and I highly encourage you to contact us to discuss more in detail if you want to learn about them. All right, so what are the DataSelf main benefits? Power, as I mentioned before, user empowerment, and time to value. It's a well-developed, out-of-the-box solution, up and running in under an hour. There's a low cost of entry level and total cost of ownership. And we provide support service to train you so you can fly as soon as possible. If you want to learn more, there's here some links. And we have a promotion. If you decide to order DataSelf by October the 31st, ask us here during the event for your coupon, and we'll give you a 1 month free subscription if you order Advanced or Pro edition. If you have more questions, please visit our booth. Thanks for joining us.